Hi, welcome to 8th grade history. It is United States history, and I am Mr. Ben. I am your teacher, and let's get going. Okay, so here's some stuff about me. This is my 4th year at the school. Before teaching at Gals, I was an adjunct, which means part time, philosophy and logic teacher at Azusa Pacific University. I have a BA, which means Bachelor of Arts in Religious Studies, which means I was focusing on the way people believe and behave throughout time and around the world. And then also an MA, which means Master of Arts in Philosophy from Cal State Los Angeles. I have 32 houseplants, and there's an image of just a couple of my houseplants in the bottom right-hand corner there. Also, I just returned from a trip to Athens, Greece. You can see an image of me with the green border around it. That's me standing in front of the Parthenon up on top of something called the Acropolis. Also, I enjoy running. And also, I decided to include a picture of me holding a tuna, a very bloody tuna fish that I caught way out during deep sea fishing one day. Okay, let's talk about the class. All right, here's what we will cover this year in U.S. history. We're going to talk about something called the Age of Discovery and Colonialism. This is Europeans coming to the North American continent and also the Central and South American continents as well, and taking their resources back, in some cases, to their European countries and becoming very rich and powerful because of those resources that they were taking from these North, Central, and Southern American continents. We will also talk about the Age of Revolution, the American Revolution especially, and then also the U.S. Constitution, right, which is the law of the land, with the Bill of Rights at the end, things like freedom of speech, things like the freedom to have a gun, also things like the freedom, or the right rather, to not just be thrown in jail, but to actually go through a whole court process where someone has to, or where a judge or a jury has to find you guilty before you can be put in jail, right? That's all in the Constitution. We'll also talk about westward expansion and the Mexican-American War. It's people from the East Coast moving out west looking for opportunity and in some cases gold. We'll talk about slavery and how the institution, the practice of slavery, led to a big war between people in the United States. We'll also talk about this time after the Civil War called Reconstruction. And finally, the Industrial Revolution. And there's an image of one scene from the Industrial Revolution down there of those two kids working on a machine, which I think is making fabric, which is also known as a textile. Anyway, let's talk about what we'll do in class. We will be reading things that actual historical figures wrote, as well as things that people alive today wrote about those people. Okay, we'll spend some time talking about the difference between those two. We will have in-class work every class period and homework at least 2 nights a week. At the end of a unit, we will have a written exam. Yes, spelling and grammar will matter, but don't worry, because that's why we're in school, is to get better at those things. Also, we will have 3 major projects throughout the year. Finally, unless I say something different on Google Classroom, homework will always be due before midnight the day it was assigned. When it comes to late work, just do your work, right? Teachers hate grading late work. It's the worst. Also, you have to tell me beforehand if you're going to be absent or if you think you're unable to complete an assignment. If you are absent, you'll have up to 5 days from the day of your absence to complete that work. And then finally, if you see an M for an assignment, you have 2 weeks to get that assignment in. M means missing, so you'll have 2 weeks to get that assignment in. Also, if you see an NY in the grade book, come talk to me. Let's talk about why you didn't do well on that assignment, how you can do it differently to do much better on it. Okay, I am very excited to see you all. And at this point, I've probably seen most of you already. So, yeah, looking forward to the rest of the year. And I hope you have a nice rest of your evening or day, depending on what time of the day you're watching this video. Saying goodbye during a video is always very awkward. I have no idea how to do it. So